Testing. Hello everyone. I'm online. I've got this far. How's it going? Right, let's see what Elite's doing. That's working. But I've got no sound, just like I did in the last stream. What you might notice is something a bit different in the bottom corner there. I'm trying something out. Yeah, that's that thing on the top of my head. There's the head tracker. Where's my sound? That's what happened last week as well. The sound dropped out. Are you guys still getting sound? Problems. I've lost my text file. I've lost my text file that I wrote down where I was going on. Where the hell have I put it? Come on, dude, this isn't rocket science. Where do you usually save this stuff? Oh, God, it never ends. Oh, God. You know what? I'm just going to go to the map and just baff around. Okay, hello, up there. This is me playing Elite. I'm having an experiment with cameras today. I don't know why. Seemed like a good idea at the time, but I should have known that today has just been the day that today has been. It's just been one thing after a bloody another. It's just chaos. Absolute bloody chaos. No sound. Nothing. no interaction. Once again, fortune has vomited on my account. Refuel from. Those if I remember right. And through to L. Like O's in there as well, but no, I can't remember. Yeah, I know the game's loud. The game's loud, the mic is low. I don't know what the sound levels are for the game. The game just seems really loud all the time at the moment, no matter what I'm doing. And the mic is low because I can't get anything working properly. This headset seems to be not wanting to work properly. Nothing on the control thing I can do, but there was a boost button that I found on the desktop at one point when I had this initially set up, and I can't find it anymore. And every time I try and do something, things seem to crash. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Things just seem to have gone completely unstable. Let's try that for the microphone. There it is. Found it! Found it! Found it! Right, is that better as far as microphone sound goes? Good. We're all better now. Good, at least sound sorted out. Is the game still ridiculously loud? Because if the game's still ridiculously loud, I'll turn that down in the settings for the game itself, actually. I'm just going to make a quick note of where that star is. Blame sector. What's that? EL-X B1-0. Or is that an O? Could be an O, couldn't it? Find out. I will plot. And I'll go back to that. Select that and then plot again. Right, I shall resume this fool's errand. Well, my head tracker plays funny buggers. Go on, centre you ridiculous bit of kit. You bloody start. So I don't have voice attack on. I was going to test out minus tonight, but that's not going to happen because nothing wants to work and I don't have any sound. Glad you guys got sound. I don't. Oh, what a day. Me and computers haven't gone together all day today. So I'll wave at you again, just for the sake of doing it. Yeah, the camera idea is something I toyed about for a while, doing streams, should I do it on camera or not. And some people I know do, some people I know don't. I've kind of had the thought that I wouldn't do it unless I could get green screening going properly, but green screening is just far too expensive for me to manage at the budget I am. Plus it's the monitor. The office I'm in, the office I have isn't particularly big, so we wouldn't fit one. Edarin, hello! So I basically want to say, right, just before I get on any further is, hi Dr. Crunch, thank you for joining the stream. Hi Edarin, thank you for joining the stream. Hi Fiery Toad, thank you for popping in for a little while at least. I'm sorry I wasn't allowed to actually speak to you while you logged on, and then everything went tits up, so I apologise. I will note that this stream has now been marked as mature. So I can swear all I fucking like now. I don't fucking care anymore, I don't give a fuck. I've had a bad shitty day, so I'm going to swear. I'm not have to apologise for it anymore. Yeah, I was going to make it a mature stream once before, but every time I tried to do it, it says, Twitch has found a problem! It wouldn't let me, so fuck it. And so the camera thing, I did have a camera when I did it. I think my first couple of streams that I tested, I had the camera on there because I've had it all set up. I just haven't had the camera plugged in, so it's not a great camera. I mean, the reason it's way up there where it is, I've got to look all the way up there while you're all basically looking at the top of my head, is because it doesn't have a zoom function on it, so you can't zoom in and out. Even the software for it, which is really crap and it's in Korean, doesn't have a zoom function. So, oh, I'm supposed to be exploring, aren't I? Oh well, never mind, I'll start from here. Oh, I'm just too damn distracted with everything going on. Just going to assume that our last system was empty. Yeah, so I got everything set up for it and just never got using it because it was a crap camera. It's still a crap camera. I'd planned on trying to use my phone as a camera on this thing tonight, but that's it, I just didn't have time. There's that double scan thing again. Showing my face is extra good right now, isn't it? About the shaving plans. Yeah! Shaving plans, obviously, yeah, obviously the stream showing my face will be a good point to prove that I do have a beard. As you can see, it's quite impressive. Hair as well. Just show you that for now. There you go. See, loads of it. Loads of lovely hair ready to come shaved off at Fantasticon. I have decided, I've not decided, I'm contemplating the idea of not actually shaving or getting my hair cut until it's time for the main event, as it were. All or nothing type thing. I'm not sure. Obviously I have a day job where perhaps a certain amount of personal hygiene, for want of a better word, or grooming skills would be expected. So I don't know yet. I would love to just not bother shaving it or trimming it at all until Fantasticon and become the epitome of hairy ubitsness before Fantasticon, so that it's a big big thing for you guys to see when it comes, because I'll be then bald and facially bald as well. But yeah, there is Beard of Justice. Still headed for Horsehead. Yes, I'm still headed for the Horsehead Nebula, my boy. I am be all over 40 astronomical objects. Holy shit. That'll give us something to do for a bit, won't it? They're not that far away actually, are they? Stop it. A lot of them probably going to be little asteroid things, aren't they? So I'll just not bother with them. Still headed for Horsehead. Yes I am. Yes. Yes I am. Yes. Simple answer. Lethal fragment. Cut his beard for 2 years. 2 years! Does he have a day job? It's okay not shaving your beard if you don't have a day job. Oh, I don't want rocks. That'll do. I have a day job where I tend to get a little bit of stick. So I'm not the world's most regular shaver as it is anyway. Primarily because I have issues with psoriasis and eczema on my face, and what I had is a kind of reaction to the shaving gels, and even the fact of getting my face wet with tap water just seems to cause me to come out and just flakes all over the place. And then it takes me a week of various creams and emollients to try and get myself sorted out. So I tend to be a bit reluctant to shave the best of times, which is why I have all this hair down here. See all that bit? I usually shave this bit around here, and it's been gradually sort of crawling down my neck because of the sort of streaming thing, but then I've not even trimmed the bits that I try and trim off. So there you go. He streamed every day for 2 years. He had a streaming challenge. Alright. He still hasn't cut it. Wow. See, I don't know. I don't know if I'd do that as a streaming thing, because I know my wife prefers me with a beard on, but she does get a bit pissy when it's scruffy. She prefers it to be a bit, a little bit at least of effort put into it. She says it looks really, and it also looks really. The longer it is, the greyer it is, which is not a great thing for her. But she doesn't mind the facial hair. She loves the facial hair, because when I have it shaved off, apparently I look about 12. I'm just hoping that having it shaved off along with the hair, I might look slightly older than 12. It does get a bit wiry though, I will say that. Although I did get a hint from a Muslim friend of mine who's got the full-on Muslim beard, which is baby oil apparently is the best thing for your beard. It keeps it soft and supple and nice. So I'm going to give that a go. God, this joystick's really sensitive. I'm going to shave everything, hair and beard, or just the beard. Hair and beard, my friend, hair and beard. I'm going the full-on baldicoot. I'm going the full-on slaphead with additional Mr. Sheen pledge polish. I just wish that my dad was actually here to see it, because he was bald, or he was balding. He didn't actually go totally bald. Even when he died, he wasn't bald. He just had the same haircut he'd had for 20 odd years that I can remember. Same amount of hair in the same place. But I used to rib him senseless for losing his hair, and he used to say, just you wait till you get old, just you wait, you'll be in the same boat as me, because you're my son, you'll have my male pattern baldness, you'll have my head. And I've never lost my hair, and he was so pissed. The older I got and the more I didn't lose my hair, and the more I just smiled at him about it, the more he got wound up. I was lucky enough to take my my hairiness from my mum's side of the family, which apparently is quite common. Apparently you quite often take your hair features from your female side of the family. I don't know why that's true, but apparently I've been told it is. But yeah, so it's good fun. But yeah, my poor old dad. my brother, unfortunately, has got kind of picked up my dad's hair, because he is starting to go bald on the top now. He's starting to thin out quite a lot around the rest of it. He's always had like really thick, wiry hair, like my dad. Whereas I've had sort of long, wavy, dark hair that's really thick, which is the mum side of the family. So when I've had my hair cut before, when it's been long, because I've grew my hair out twice in my life so far. This is the sort of third and a half, so I'm not going to get very long before we get to October. Oh crap, 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 it's the sun, don't crash into it. And the hairdressers have had a great time just running their hands through the thick old hair and then cutting it all off and having to brush it all away, then put it on a skip, take it away. Hey Hellrond, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to another Monday night stream. Oh yeah, Dr. Crunch, thank you for the comment about the monologue last week. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That was quite enjoyable to talk about. I had to think of something to talk about while I was on absolute silence coming from the computer. But yeah, it is. I stand by what I said last night. It was very from the heart, that comment, that conversation. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Rocks, not interested. Rocks, not interested. Rocks, not interested. Rocks, not interested. Is that it then? That can't be it. Rocks, not interested. I'm back on the rocks again, aren't I? Is that rocks as well? They're all rocks, yeah. Rocks. Planet. You saw me on, so you thought you'd say hi. Well, thank you very much. It's very good of you to pop in. Pop your hand around the door and rattle off a cheery wave. That makes me feel all kinds of wanted and warm inside. All kinds of fuzzy. Guilt trip Mad Dog today into donating again. He's donated another 20. Is it 20 or 10 he's donated? I can't remember if it was 20. He said another 20 when he was on stream. I've not actually checked the page yet to see how much he's donated. But he said something about I was a cheapskate for only donating 15 quid to have my leg shagged by him. And I said to him that, well, it's more than you've fucking donated, isn't it? And so he went off and straight away donated more. He said, I've been paid since then, Selezen. So I'll show you. And he did, he showed me. He showed me to the tune of another 20 quid apparently. Hey, you've already scanned the bloody thing, you cheeky mare. Well, your hair isn't long enough or grey enough. Oh well, thanks a lot. I can only grow it so fast. Do my best. I mean, I think it's quite impressive. It's not bad. More than my wife would like. I can't do anything about it being not grey enough. Unless I walk under some ash or some chalk or something. Were you there, Edwin? Were you? I didn't realise. Thing is, when I'm watching a stream at work, I don't actually watch the stream because I'm actually working. So I'm looking at code and programming stuff and so on. So I just listen to it as something to keep me company during the day. So I was listening to Mad Dog more than actually watching. He's only 10 plus 10, so he's donated 20 altogether. Okay, that's fine then. I thought they made it sound like he donated 20 quid more today, but that's fine. I don't care. He could have donated the sum total of £1, and I'd have been happy with it. He's an awesome guy. Might donate 10 quid to his actual stream fund just to keep it all balanced, you know. That's a nice planet actually. I like the way that has... Here, wait a minute, why is that oval? That should be oval. Why is it not round? Do we have oval planets? Oh, the sky is round. Must be an oval planet. So if I rotate that way then... It's oval! It's an oval planet, look! I have found an oval planet. Mind you, that does happen because technically, our planet's quite oval because it's an ellipsoid or an ovoid or whatever it's called. An ovoid's an egg. Well, whatever it is, it's not perfectly round, but that's quite an exaggerated one, that one, isn't it? So there must be quite high gravity on that planet. I'll be 63 next month. 63, Hellrond! Bloody hell, I didn't realise you were that old. To coin a phrase that my son says about my age, that's ancient! My ponytail's middle of my back and a goatee. Well done on the goatee and well done on the ponytail. The reason I actually don't have long hair is I tried to grow it when I was at university and I quite enjoyed having long hair. But you know when it gets up your nose or it gets in your eye or it gets in your mouth and it just tickles your face, it's just it's just irritating. And plus which I have this unfortunate tendency to have wavy hair the longer it gets. So it just starts to look manky. It starts to look a 70s reject when it gets down to about shoulder length. So it's not great. But Edrin, may I do my friends list? Yes, feel free, carry on, stick it on there. I don't mind, I don't have many friends anyway, so I don't have a huge friends list to take care of. So maintenance is quite simple. So yep, feel free, go for it. The more the merrier. A full head Hillrond. Or is it a skullet? A skullet title, but that'd still be cool though. Oh, and that one there. And that should be the set then. Oh, it's rocks, not fast. Got all them. Rocks. 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 Planet. New friend request from Commander Ederin. How do I do this then? Is it F10? Or is it O? Or is it Enter? It's Enter, is it? Friend request. Oh. What will I do? I'll do that one. And message. Now friends with Commander Ederin. Oh, so sweet. How do I get out of there? There we go. Pissed that nothing works today. I was wanting to play with Minus. Damn, no, I'm not going to BRB phone. I don't care how on. Say you're busy watching Selezen's stream. Far more important than anything else. And you can see me now, therefore I can see you, so do as you're told. Why don't I have sound? Dr. Crunch, well, I'll be 38 soon, so it might be too early to say. Well, there's a good chance if you're 38 now, then if you've still got the majority of your hair, then you should be okay. Should be okay. You'll probably find it'll get thinner as you get older, but you won't actually completely lose it. You may find, if you've got a widow's peak, you might find that starts getting further up your head. I've always had a widow's peak since I was little, and I think it gradually climbing its way back over my head, but I don't mind. I don't mind. The rest of my hair's still quite thick, so that's why I've always said it's quite a good idea to do one of these things, like head shave things. I'm not a fit person, so doing a 10-mile bike ride or a 50-mile hike or climb up some kind of mountain somewhere is probably not the best thing for somebody of my physicality to attempt. People have actually said that I could probably kill myself if I tried to do something like that, so I've decided they're probably right. So the hair thing is the only thing I've really got that I can try and do. Probably other stuff I could try if I thought hard enough about it. Now, I have actually thought to jump on the bandwagon of doing like something stream related as well, because it's mostly all you guys that have donated from the streams that have made the profit. Not the profit, it's not a profit thing, is it? That have made the total so far. I mean, we're over 400 quid now, which is really cool. And again, to any one of the streamers who's donated on various people's channels or watching this stream, then I thank you for that. Very kind of you for the support. So kind of thinking in some way then to try and sort of pay back some of that, or at least involve the stream more often, then I might do some kind of long stream. I was thinking about a 24-hour stream, or something like that, but I don't know. What do you guys think? All what, 4 of you, whatever there is out there. Obviously I haven't run this past the wife yet. She'll probably shout at me for saying, oh, more time at the computer. And of course the Kickstarter people will say, oh, what, you're going to spend 24 hours not doing a book now? But to them I say, fuck you. It's for charity. It won't be until like sort of later on in the year anyway, like probably September time possibly. I'll do it before, like give myself a reasonable amount of time beforehand, and then a reasonable amount of time before thingy starts, or Fantasticon comes along. I'd be trying to do a 24-hour stream that would actually be a 24-hour stream, just me streaming for 24 hours with the occasional food break or toilet break. So yeah, what do you think? Good idea? Bad idea? Shit idea? Bag of wank idea? Attention seeking whore idea? That kind of thing, you know. Be honest, I don't mind. The other thing that comes off the back of the hair shaving thing being towards the end of October is that it sets me up for starting Movember as well. So I will be doing Movember this year, because since I've got the last twice I've not done it because I've not had the permission from the good lady Selezen to shave the beard off. So now that I've got a pass, as you might say, to shave the beard, then I'm thinking I may as well make the most of it while I've got it. Rocks, planet. How far away? 1,000. That's not bad. By planets. Is that an oval one as well? Let's have a look. It is as well, isn't it? It's quite oval as well. Alright, let's get, move, round, out. That's really pretty, that, isn't it? Yeah, see that, Dr. Crunch, that's one thing I did actually wonder about, whether it would be just me streaming on my own, no one watching for most of the time, because let's face it, I mean, my viewer rate isn't that great. I have a couple of regulars who pop by every time, and the occasional like people like Hillrun who pop by when they're passing, so on. Which is cool. I mean, I enjoy having even just one viewer having it's worth it. There's someone to talk to, and you know, I'm at least entertaining someone. But 24 hours is a bit much to expect on a four viewer stream. So that's why I don't know. I mean, if it's something I could get maybe a sponsorship for, I'd do a sponsored stream, then actually say to people, right, sponsor me to do it, and then you can watch a bit of it. But I'll make sure it's done, because obviously it'll all be recorded. It'll be recorded through Twitch, and then I'll chuck it up on YouTube for posterity. I haven't really got viewers from around the globe. I think majority of the people that watch are either Britain or Scandinavia land. You perfume again, look. Another streamer I watch plays Kerbal, has 5 to 10 people usually. Marathon maxed on 15, average 15 viewers. Well, yes, I don't know, what would you think? It's worth a try? I mean, if I chuck some publicity for it out there, I mean, maybe if I can impose on people like, on the generosity of people like my blog again to publicise it. They have a fairly good user base who can hopefully pop by and just stop in now and again. The title of the marathon draws in new peeps. That would be nice if it did. It would be nice. It would be primarily to, all the sponsorship money for it would go straight towards the Marie Curie fund as well. And obviously I'd be plugging the Marie Curie thing like mad throughout the whole 24-hour stream. Don't know. As I say, it's an idea I'm toying with. If it's worthwhile, I'll do it. If it's not going to be worthwhile, then probably not really worth doing. But I like the idea because I don't know. It's just the Marie Curie thing, especially, is what's making me want to do it. Because see, this is the first time I've really talked about this kind of thing at the moment. I've kind of skipped talking about the charity stuff over the last few streams because I don't want to risk the fact that I talk about it too much between now and then. But then I suppose if it's a charity thing, I've got to publicise it and it's got to get out there, and I've got to raise awareness and so on, basically. So Marie Curie are one of the better organisations as far as cancer care is concerned. Macmillan's up there as well, and both Macmillan and Marie Curie have had an impact in members of my family's lives. Both my aunties, that's including the one who's got the cancer, work for Marie Curie. And they do provide a hell of a good service, and not just to the patients, not just to the cancer sufferers themselves, but more importantly to the families. The reason I've chosen Marie Curie over the others is because, again, that's who my aunties actually work for. I don't know, from them, like the sort of work that they've done, helping people and taking care of people, makes it kind of worthwhile. I'm actually forgetting I'm on camera. I keep forgetting that the camera's sitting out there looking at me. So if I start sitting picking my nose around like that, just let me know. If I start picking at my arse or some stupid thing like that. What's this? Mugwump UK. Oh, hello there. You sneaked in through the back door, as it were. Kate might be able to help with publicity, and I'm sure Karash will advertise it, Toad and Dog too. Yeah, I'm sure those guys would. As I say, they've been awesome in the past with anything that I've wanted to try and publicise. Like when I was doing the pilgrimage to practice disc and support a Mad Dog, obviously all those guys publicised that as well, which meant I managed to draw in 20 viewers, which probably isn't a lot for some streams, but for me that was a hell of a lot, and it's still the most I've ever had. I think I got to 30 at one point, which again was, as I say, that was the highest point. But and they've obviously helped publicise this as well. Mad Dog especially has been awesome. I mean, every time I've been on there, or even I assume he does it when I'm not on there as well, but every time I've been on there he's made sure to mention it at least once. And Toadie's just an awesome guy all round. Karash, yeah, if he does, he does. Yeah, if people do, they do appreciate the help. If they don't, understand, because they're busy guys, they've got stuff to do, they've got their own streams to organise and manage, you know, they can't always be publicising some weird Scottish guy. Rocks, not interested. You can go away. Rocks. 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 Planet. can see you in my gal map now. Oh, I'm glad, Edarin. Hello, I'll wave at you. There you go. I apologise for yawning. I was going to say about this one, because obviously Dr. Crunch being around at the start, I was aware of that. There was loads of problems getting things set up this evening. Came up here later than I planned, about 7:30, to get everything set up. I had to restart the computer in the first place, and then discovered that none of the sound would work, and OBS had lost all of its settings for the streams. So I scrambled together, getting everything ready for the Elite Encounters update, so that was actually on time. So it was a couple of minutes late only on that one, but then once I finished that, I had to go through resetting everything for this stream. And then once I got everything set up, sound didn't want to work anymore, did it? Couldn't get the microphone to come on at all. And then everything just died. Bit by bit, just fell apart. The keyboard stopped working, the mouse stopped clicking one point, and then the machine just reset itself. And then I had to reset itself again before everything would actually work. And that's just the way my day has gone today at all. Completely. It's just been nightmare after nightmare after nightmare of various different stupid little things pissing me off. Doesn't help the fact that I'm absolutely bloody shattered. For some reason didn't sleep particularly well last night, and I'm just... To be honest, I actually feel like getting absolutely bloody rat-arsed. But it's a school night and I can't. I just feel like I need something to calm me down, because I've been on edge. I feel like I've been on edge, tense, and just bouncing around like an idiot all day inside my head. And that's worrying me, because the last time I started feeling like that was just before I had the unfortunate mental incident that resulted in me being off stream. Was that either? Are you travelling economically or fastest routes? I am travelling fastest routes at the moment, but I'm not travelling very fast because I'm actually sitting exploring a system that has 40 things to investigate. So there you go. Hey, talk's gone very quiet. Chat's gone quiet. Oh. Yeah, so I'm a bit worried, I'm a bit concerned. Having a bit of a panic attack at one point as well, which didn't help much. And the things, I don't know why. I don't have any clue why I was having a panic attack. I'll say one thing that has been... I think I've been kind of wound up all week. And I think today's just a culmination of what's been the last update. The last update that I did on Monday last week. Just seemed to generate so much negativity. I'm just worried now what this next one's going to kick out, and if anyone else is going to be criticising the decisions I make and the things that I do. Which I try not to let go on top of me, and I don't dwell on it too much as far as I'm concerned, but you know, there's that little part of your head that can't help but say, what if it's right? Always that little whiny little bastard little demon that sits on your shoulder saying, you know, keep it right, you know. Maybe you're shit, maybe you're not cut out for writing this RPG shit. But I refuse to believe that. Because it's only, at the end of the day, it's only one person's opinion over the either support or silence of 200 other people. So if I'm putting more weight on that than I am everybody else's opinion, then I think I'm really need to start looking at the way I process information and stop dwelling on the fact that negative people are out there. It's the internet, there's never gonna please everyone, so why fucking try? It's my project, I'll do it the damn way I want to do it. The only issue with it is the way that I'm feeling right now, and the way that my head's like mince at the moment, is meaning that I'm not getting a lot of concentration done on anything, so RPG progress is thus slower. So, not awesome. It's probably all these same things that I've actually previously explored anyway, isn't it? Is that a planet? No. I'm going through the Running Man Nebula, and my OCD will make me scan as many as possible. You do that, Edarin. I'm not going to try and catch up with you or anything like that. I'm going to jump in these long jumps to get away from civilized space and try and find something that hasn't been actually explored before. And I think this is the last thing in the system to scan, and that's me done. Other than picking rocks, and there's where I'm going. Look. So that's the Horsehead Nebula, isn't it? I mean, or it's one of the things around the Horsehead Nebula. So why doesn't it look like a horse's head then? Oh, focus on the RPG this week has got to be trying to get the space combat stuff finished. So I need to get that stuff ready to send off to the guys who have offered to GM sessions, because they can't GM sessions if they don't have the damn rules to play, can they? So I need to try and get that sorted out as soon as I can. Probably, Adrian. Probably. If you're taking the scenic route, fair enough. I was thinking about taking a bit of a roundabout route. Like actually do like a zigzag, because I'm just thinking, I mean, I'm not the only person that's probably had this idea. Horsehead Nebula is one of the more famous nebulas in the galaxy, isn't it? So it's one of those things that's probably quite commonly thought, I'll go see that. A couple of things I was going to talk about tonight as well. I quite enjoyed last week's conversation with myself about Elite and carrying the flames and all that sort of stuff. And sort of this week, what have I really done in relation to Elite? I've not actually had the time to play any more Elite. I know that occasionally I have a couple of hours of a session of writing, and then after that, if it's not too late, I might have a quick blast on this. Or on GTA 5, just to round off the night. Get my head out of the workspace, as it were, so I can chill out and relax and go to sleep. But that's probably a fault as well. I'm going out exploring soon too, not quite sure, probably a long tour around the out regions. Yeah, it's fine. That's what I love about the game, is that you can go anywhere you want. You don't have to go to the same place as everybody else. You don't have to go to something that's colourful and pretty. You just find a point in space and point your nose towards it, click on it, and navigate to it, really. Point, click, go. What's I saying? Yeah, one of the there's been a couple of things in the media, not the media as in the newspapers, but the Elite community media, as it were, which is essentially the streams and the bloggers and the updaters and the authors and all the sort of stuff. I stay off the forums again still, because the forums are just a hive of scum and villainy at the moment. It's just too depressing to read. But yeah, I think the whole power play thing is the big news, isn't it? I mean, it seems to have polarised people quite a lot, the power play thing. I said enough about it last week, I'm not going to go on about it again, but one thing that I did note was that people were saying that it's not their cup of tea either, so that's fine. But makes me wonder, what is my cup of tea? What do I want out of Elite? I was one of the original backers. I was one of the original Elite players. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait a minute. Comments. Listen to comments. I've not played my PC version for about 3 months. I've had a good crack at the Xbone version lately, though. Yeah, the Xbox version. That's the other thing that's come out, isn't it? Because I did all the banding about the videos about it last week, so I was quite excited by it. And it does look gorgeous, and I've watched it a couple times more since. Don't have an Xbox, but my prospective son-in-law does, and I've offered him my £5 off voucher, which, to be honest, I think is a bit of a it's a bit of a cop out as far as discounts are concerned. I mean, I don't think it's even 10%, is it? Is it? Wait a minute, £5 was fine. Yeah, it is 10%, but 12% actually. But hey ho. But I don't know. I don't think it was enough. A £10 off voucher would have been awesome. But given the fact that they've reduced the price anyway, then it maybe makes it a bit more worthwhile. But my son-in-law has said that he may not have the permission from his prospective wife, i.e. my daughter, to be able to see it, to be able to play it, buy it or anything like that. Which is a shame. Right, am I done? I believe I am, because I think they're all rocks, aren't they? Oh, the centre on this thing's getting worse. Let's calibrate it again. Anyway, right, let's call that a day. That's explode. So let's have a look at that one. Hey, look, it just happens to be in the same direction as the nebula. Who would have thought? Not played PC version for 3 months. Had a good crack at the Xbox version. As I said last week, I welcome the Xbox players. I won't disparage console players. I was a console player for a while because I was fed up upgrading PCs, and I just thought, can't be bothered. But then that did cut out things like this. But not now, because now you can play it with a keypad or a joypad or whatever it is you want to play with, which means console players can play it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's bloody awesome. More players we get, the merrier.
Fuel scooping.
I don't think we should be picking between us and getting all superior about it all. Players are players. People that buy the game, make sure the game keeps getting paid for, make sure the funding is there for development, make sure that the game keeps getting expanded, which means we get more content, which means we get stuff other than just power play, and we can stop moaning about not getting anything for us as old timers. So I don't care. I say bring it on. Bring it out for the PSP is what I say. Bring it out for the PSP, bring it out for the Wii, would be awesome. Bring it out for anything, just whatever. Fucking Android phones, watches, smart watches. Have a Galaxy Gear version of Elite Dangerous that you can just fly the galaxy around in your watch. That'd be awesome. Let's do that. Stop picking on people because they have different systems. Stop picking at the game because they keep thinking they're trying to dumb it down for people that want to play it on a console. Make it accessible. Make it accessible. Make it playable by anybody. If you can't fit it into the memory for something, then cut down the memory requirements for it. I think it should be playable on tablets, because that would be awesome. Entering. I heard someone boycotted you till the price equalised. Yeah, I saw that on the forum actually. There was a forum post linked from somewhere that I read that. I read that as one of the posts on that thread. Was that he wasn't wanting to buy it until it came to the same price. So who gives a fuck what the price is? You want to play it, play the bloody thing. Actually, it might be Mad Dog stream today thinking about it. Keep on saying you're going to wait for this and wait for that and wait for the other. Why are you waiting? Is it going to make any difference if you wait, other than what the price is and what you want to pay for it? Because quite frankly, I mean, I and the Kickstarter backers are probably sitting there saying, oh, we paid for this, we paid for that. And I'm sitting here, I'm going to say, I paid for Elite Dangerous, and everyone's going to say, oh, but you paid for yours through a Kickstarter. But that's not true. I actually paid for my game and pledged for my game, my copy of the game, as part of the Kickstarter, before I did the Kickstarter for this RPG, which is what let me up my pledge level. But I'd actually paid over 100 quid. Was it over 100 quid, or was it coming up to 100 quid? It was around 100 quid anyway. I'd already paid around 100 quid in pledges for various different levels of the game. So I'm not being a hypocrite by saying that you should pay for this game at whatever level you can, because you should. As far as I'm concerned, the more money you pay, or the more money people who buy the game pay, then the more money Frontier will have to continue developing. So people who are saying they want to wait until it comes down in price or until it's offered on sale, all that sort of stuff, all you're really doing is contributing towards the fact that the game will have less money to be spent on it. So there. That's also why I buy things like expansion packs from the website and paint jobs and shit like that, and merchandise as much as I can, because I want to support the game that's what I don't like. There's bits that I think could be improved. But to be fair, I'm not the only person that's playing this game. I'm in the group of the 84ers, or the 85ers in my case, because I had the Spectrum version. I played Elite because I liked playing Elite. I liked playing Elite Dangerous because I play the elements that I liked in Elite. I don't do power play because I don't want power play, because power play is not my style of play. But I just don't play the power play side of things. So what's the problem? Other people like it, they play it. You don't want to play it, don't play that part of it. Play it the way you want to play it. You want to play it like Elite, you want to go out there and do piracy or do trading or all that sort of stuff. Go and do it. Better catch up with the thingy, the chat, because I've kind of lost it, haven't I? A decent app would be nice. Yes, it would. I think there should be a decent app for it. I know there's an iPhone app at one point, wasn't there? But there should be something that supplements it. I would love just any kind of route planning app would be fucking awesome. Something I could have on my phone that says, I want to go to this place, here's your route. So that if they can't put it into the actual game, stick it in an app. Because at the moment I am really annoyed, because obviously I'm now out of exploring. I am so annoyed at the fact that I can't get my planned route to stay in memory when I save the game and then quit. So the last time I was navigating anywhere was last Monday. I've forgotten everywhere I went to. Fucking rocks everywhere. And I've got to try and program all that in again. I've got to search for it online and put it in. And I had it stored in a text file, and I don't know where to put that bloody text file now. So now I've forgotten where I was navigating to. So I want to make it all up as I go along. But they should do, yeah, there should be more apps out there that are actually helping organise the game. Something that will tie into your account and maybe track your character and track your player stats and your elite rankings and your spenders, like all the stuff that's on your status screen over there. Sorry, keep your head still. All the stuff that's on that screen there, you should be able to access in an app that will let you keep track of it. They have the iPad companion app. Yeah, but that's only iPad though, isn't it? I've got an Android. What am I going to do with an iPad app? That's intro price of $24.99. Yeah, there is. That's is that not on Steam? It's on sale on Steam, and it's been pulled down in price a bit on the main site as well. So that's going up. Have to adhere to Microsoft ID rules. Yeah, well. iPad app is bobbins. Yep, it is. I paid over £100 for my game and I bought the Xbone version and shitloads of paint jobs. As you should. Okay, some of the paint jobs are overpriced for what they are, but still, Frontier have cut out a huge area of profit by not going for the pay to win or buy your ships with real money type model that Star Citizen's are going for. We might slag that off in Star Citizen, but that is a huge revenue generator that Frontier's missing out on. And I applaud them for doing it, because they're not going to let people pay to win. If you're rich and you can win the game, at the moment they've got a system where if you've got loads of time to spend on the game, then you can win. But you don't win. People just gang up on you then. But you can't just go off and spend 20 quid and buy a ship, or 300 quid and buy a ship. You have to earn it in the game. Yeah, it would be a money spinner and it would help their finances no end, but they've chosen not to do that, and I applaud them for that. But they have to make money other ways, and if that means they have to overprice the merchandise and whatever, then fair enough. I understand why. It might mean that I can't buy exactly what I want to buy because I can't justify the cost, but it's going to keep the game afloat at the end of the day. And if people buy it and buy into it and buy it and play it and buy all the merchandise and stuff, then fine. Went for the alpha tier and did the game so badly. I'm with you on power play, it's not my thing, so I ignore. Yeah, as I say, it's not your cup of tea, you don't play it. No one's forcing you to. It's an optional extra. And as I said last week, it just proves the point that the game's expandable. It can add various levels of depth to it. And I actually listened to the first half hour of, I think it was the State of the Game address from Mad Dog and Fiery Toad and Drew Wagar and Kate and everybody. And they just got to the bit of talking about where the characters for the power play thing are lovely characters, they're lovely drawn, and they all each stand for a certain thing. But who are they? There's no depth to them, they're just superficial faces on a thing. But as I said before, power play is adding one level of complexity to the game. I think it's the same as the rest of the game, it's a framework, and it'll be built up on as time goes by. Frontier has a plan. We know this. They've told us this. They have ideas of what they want to do with the game, and we're along for the ride. And quite frankly, I'm happy to just wait and see what's going to go on, because I think it's going to be mega super awesome. Things will get added in that are going to benefit us old timers, not the people who want to play a certain type of game. Everybody will like certain bits, everybody will like other bits. Some people will like some bits, some people won't like other bits. Blah, 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 he says, with his tongue actually wrapping around, firmly around his teeth. It will expand in different ways for different people, and different people will get different things out of the game, and that's how it should be. It has to be something that will drag the biggest demographic in that it can. Power play is one side of things, expanding the mining thing was another side of things, expanding the missions is another side of things. Improving the exploration stuff, he says, keeping on topic to his own stream, will be another level that will be improved on at some point, and that will be beneficial for some and not beneficial for others. So there you go. The campaign was damn close to failing. Yes, it was. It did kind of scrape past the post, didn't it? But I'm glad it did. And I actually think, even if it hadn't got past the post, I still think it would have been made. It just may have taken a bit longer, or they may have done another Kickstarter campaign and slightly lowered the target. I do honestly think that it would have... You want to hear the cynical thing that I've said within my own earshot at some points, is that I think that if it got, because it got to a certain point, and it had already proved the fact that it had the following, because I mean there was something like 10,000 people who'd pledged even towards the sort of midpoint of it. I think if it looked like it wasn't going to get there, I think somebody would have pumped some money into it just to make sure it did get funded. Whether that be somebody from Frontier or somebody from somewhere else or an investor or whatever, I think it would have been done, and I think it should have been done, because I think the point had been proven. But the thing is that the Kickstarter campaign followed the road of every other Kickstarter campaign that I've seen, including my own, whereas you have that first insurge of interest and insurge of money, and then you have a bit of a gap and a bit of a slowdown. Whether it be because it's payday or not, or people have just realised that they can't afford it, or are need to wait and see what they can budget for, and so on. It's the ebb and flow of the world out there, real life, and people don't have to think about what they're actually doing. And then it got towards the end, and you got that injection of interest, and obviously got put on different media places and so on, and people did market it quite well. And then obviously the money came in, and the same thing happens with a lot. The same thing happened with my Kickstarter. It started off quite strongly, then it tailed off in the middle for a bit, and then at the end it got a bit of a kick up the arse and got past its goal. So I think it had the potential there to start with, and I think, as I say, other people would have piled money into it if it wasn't going to just scrape past the line there. Having the Galm up on iPad or iPhone would be amazing. Yes, it would. That would be a brilliant idea. The entire galactic map just on its own, so you can navigate through it and play what things you're going to do. And then if you're not sitting in front of your gaming computer, and your wife's fallen asleep next to you or something, not that would ever happen to me, then you can fire up the app on your phone and have a shufty at what your next plan is, and plan your routes for your next jump, or whatever, or even just look at the pretty pictures of stars. I was 32 when I played the original 82. I play all the games the way I like. I could give a crap if anyone tells me I'm not playing any game correctly. Right on you! That's how it should be. That's what Elite has always been. Because this is the thing that gets to me. And this is why I tend to jump on the bandwagon with this game. Elite has always been, for me, a very personal experience. I filled in all the gaps in the game with my own imagination. And that is what made it an interesting game for me. It wasn't the fact that it was pretty graphics, because it wasn't. It was a white circle that you could see the stars through, for crying out loud. It was white lines on a screen, but your mind filled in all the blanks in those white lines, and everything else that was around it. A clump of white lines flew past you, and it was the shape of a python. In your head, you're working out who that is. Do you want to attack that guy? Can you risk it? How many weapons has he got? What cargo has he got that's worth grabbing off him? That's the sort of stuff that Elite fires off in my head, and the media that went with it, which I'm quite sad that this game hasn't got. But, well, actually technically to an extent that's what I'm writing, really, isn't it? People like Drew, people like Kate, people who've filled in all the blanks of these games themselves, feel the same way about it. It's your universe. You do what you want in your universe. You play your game the way you want to play it. You don't have to follow the herd. You don't have to follow what everybody else is doing. Power Play was touted by Frontier as being the best upgrade yet, but if it's not for you, fuck it. Frontier don't own you. They don't manage your expectations or get into your head and control your imagination. You do. You imagine what's out there. What I'm looking forward to is the point when they can actually expand the exploration stuff, so it's not just sitting in Super Cruise and scanning a planet from far away. I want the bit where you can get right up personal and close with a planet, scan it in the atmosphere, scan through the atmosphere, look at what's on the planet's surface. That's the bit that excites me. Can you go down there and find something on that planet that's worth finding? But for now, you're looking at it and you're imagining what's there. Unidentified signal source there. See, this is one thing I'm not entirely sure about, is the unidentified signal sources. Frontier keep telling us there's stuff out here to find. Can we find it by actually just... Has anyone been out here in this system? Has anyone actually explored this system or left anything in this system? If I jump out of hyperspace now, am I going to get my ass kicked by some big pirate or something? That's the thing. See, that's the thing. See, it's the imagination going again. I don't even know what it is. It's all I see is an unidentified signal source. But I'm thinking about what's been in a conversation today about the Thargoids, and there's something out there for the Thargoids. There's something out there to discover. And if I go past an unidentified signal source now, having learned that today, am I going to miss out on something impressive? Could I be the one that finds this mysterious thing that could be a Thargoid warship or a Thargoid signal or something like that? Shall I have a look? Shall I? That'll be quite exciting, wouldn't it? How cool would that be? But it's a fucking wedding barge. I'm sorry guys, I'll catch up with the chat in a minute. I'm trying to deal with each thing one by one. I'm having a bit of a rant with each thing, isn't I? There's a lot of stuff here. So what is it? Ah crap, it's pirates. That's not great, is it? That's a bit shite. Boost. Ah well, it was worth the try. Hey ho. Where is hyperspace? Bloody have. What you... Never mind. I think I'm nearly finished scanning that system anyway. Oh wow, look! Loads of stars! Oh my god, it's full of stars. Oh wow. That's pretty. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and I'm going to take a photo of that bit, that hotness. Oh look, little stars. Let's. Amazing. 84. This is my 50ish objects now. I've those were asteroids. Can't tell everyone how the hell could you play it wrong if you're enjoying it. Exactly. See? That's exactly right. I thought if you're not playing Lotto correctly, they've played for a year, been there since the beginning, over 8 years. The companion app can be used as an overview app, trade route, notebooks, a story database. Yep. Great idea. Yep. Any idea that makes it a bit more immersive or can involve as many bits of media as you can fit into the universe would be an awesome thing to do, basically. And if people are out there telling you how to play the game, you know, fuck them. Tell them to fuck off. This is your game. You paid for it if you were a Kickstarter. You paid for it if you bought the game without a Kickstarter. So, you know, tell them to fuck off. You do what you want to do. Play your game. Play your game the way you want to play it. Definitely don't take their shit. Right, let me roll so I can get a decent shot with these stars. This is one of those things that you hear about people that explore, and the only interesting thing they can do is actually take a photo, just because it's pretty. Thing is, though, it's up to you what you do with it at the end of the day, isn't it? It's your game, it's your universe, you play it the way you want to play it. Fuck everybody else. Grab that photo. Back in the cockpit. You're back in the room. They have a 10-year plan. Yeah, I'll keep hearing this 10-year plan. I have every confidence in it. I think a 10-year plan is a great thing to have, but again, you need money for it to happen, which means that people like us and people like our mates have got to buy the game, which means people like us dedicated players and streamers, should be advertising the shit out of this game and telling people to go and buy it. So there, yeah. So if you just remember them on camera again, I'm making all these gesticulations that I would normally not care about, but you're all watching me on this now. And I'm actually now going across my head if I pick my nose yet. Everything's just idiotic, but knew what a Thargoid was. You saw the white lines and you knew better, or you knew a better run. Yeah, definitely. Can't wait for the first person stuff, definitely. I mean, that's the bit I'm looking forward to. I want to get out and actually walk around my ship and see what my ship actually looks like from the inside. Look at my pilot seat, look at what's inside a station. Thing is, I know the thing, it's a lot of work, a hell of a lot of work to get done, and it's mind-boggling, to be honest, because not only have they got to fill in every station with, okay, it can be formulaic in the way that it's laid out, but they've got to populate that station as well with people in it, people walking around. How many sets of clothes do you program into the game for them to wear? You know, stuff like that. It's a huge undertaking, and it's not even funny, the amount of work that that's going to involve. And it's a daunting task, I would say. But I know they can do it, because they've done the Outlander game, which was pretty much how you populate something. And we've all seen they've done, what's it called? Is it Planet Coaster it's called now? The new game they've announced recently. And they've proved you can generate people like that, so it's dead simple. So improve a lot on that damn app of theirs. Yeah, they will. They will eventually. They will get there. There shouldn't be any pirates middle of nowhere. That's random. Yeah, it's a bit kind of bleh. I must admit, I'm a bit disappointed with the break in immersion with that, to be honest. You know, you're heading out for the middle of nowhere, but it's supposed to be an unexplored system, and oh look, some pirates. Not entirely sure if that's kind of thing. But then you have the thing in your imagination that can then justify it, because this will happen to me. The more I think about this in the future, I'll start saying, oh well, they must be there for a reason. Are they a pirate clan? Have they got a secret base somewhere close by? Imagination. Justify any mistake in programming or any bug with a little bit of imagination, and that improves your enjoyment of the game 100 times. Yeah. Oh, Dot's trying to take me to it. Cloak stations confirmed. Hi, Karma War. Sorry I missed you popping in there. Yeah, I'm not at the bottom of the list of stuff in the chat yet, so I'm just chatting away to each thing line by line. So I apologise to anyone else out there if I've not said hello to you yet, but I'll get to the bottom of the chat at some point quite soon, and then talk to you and say hello, because I'm quite friendly like that. Unexplode. Boing. Carbon nice screen. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with that screenshot. It was quite nice. Dr. Crunch, hard to turn in now. Past 11 early morning tomorrow. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by anyway, Dr. Crunch. Appreciate your company for the early part of the stream. I apologise there were so many technical issues. And I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you see you next time. Take care. Rotate the ship a little. Screens option. Yeah, screens are good. You can make some lovely screenshots with this. Keep uploading this stuff to Elite Galaxies, or whatever it's called. Rocks. 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 Planet. That's on the other side of this. Oh, it's another sun. Another sun on the other side of this sun. Mega. See, what I'll do is I'll skim around the sun now and go and check it out. Is it safe to explore? Losing ship disconnects all the crap. It seems to be. I've been exploring now for 3 weeks, on and off. I haven't lost any data or ships or anything as far as I'm aware. I've not had any disconnects other than when they've been updating it. And more importantly, when I have had disconnects, I haven't had any problem with losing any information. So there you go. Okay, oh, I've just found Hilron's bye message. He's probably gone by now, but in case he hasn't, bye Hilron, take care. Thank you for stopping by again. Pop your head round the door, as it were. Take care. Speak to you soon. Walking on the ships, stations, bus to the canteen. I thought it was going to the latest news. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Just think it's going to be loads and loads of opportunities for stuff like that. It makes me remember Anarchy Online, which was fairly good in its time. It went free to play for, but I don't know if it's still actually out there. But that was the first sort of sci-fi MMORPG that I was kind of interested in looking at. But it was a little bit underpowered. But that's kind of how I imagine the out-of-ship elements of Elite will be. I'm hoping they'll do things like out-of-ship missions, because that's the sort of side of things that I want to go. But I'll talk about that later on. That's kind of the sort of thing, the way things want to go as far as taking the game outside the ship, but actually continue the game side of things. So it's not just a matter of get out your ship and wander around and see random people that won't talk to you or do anything with you, and everything you do has got to be done as part of being in your ship. I've now got to the end of the chat, so that's fine. But no, I think the out of ship stuff is what I really want to see, because that's always been the bit that's been more. It's always been in people's imagination, because it's never been released what it's actually like, apart from what's been in the stories. And I like the idea of being able to wander off the ship or get a communication through a bulletin board saying meet me at XXX and we will discuss this, and you actually go and meet a guy and have a conversation with a guy. And I'm not saying it should be a speech conversation or whatever. If you can make it that, or if they can make it that, then fine, do that. But if not, then just keep it with text or whatever, or still instead of a bulletin board or whatever, but instead of sitting in your ship, you're sitting face to face with a guy. That's kind of the way that I think things could go, to make it such. It adds a whole new dimension to the game. Just to have personal interaction in there, like the RPG is going to have. But just to have that as part of your in-game experience as well, I think would be immeasurably good. Immeasurably good. Maybe that's to make you walk to the hangar. Yeah, that would be awesome. Oh god, yeah. That would be absolutely brilliant. Or you could actually go and see them. You would get told what hangar your ship's in, and you actually have to go and walk to it. And actually you can look at it through the window and say that's mine. And on the door it's got like a sticky label with your name on it. This is such and such person's ship. Good stuff, that. But yeah, so what I was going to talk about, things that make Elite for me, and I kind of got sidetracked, and what it's like. The whole imagination thing is the way that this game has always been marketed to people like me. There was a conversation today at the start of Mad Dog. I was watching the recording of Mad Dog's thingy stream, or listening to it anyway, his State of the Game address. And there was the thing about I think Drew mentioned it, the fact that they've already done as much as they can to make sure that the original Elite players and the Kickstarter backers, who are all of that basic age group, wanted the game to be, and they have. To be fair, right, I agree with Drew on this. They have put in pretty much as they can to make it Elite. It is Elite. It feels like Elite. It plays like Elite. The elements they've changed to make it work in a larger context do work. So the multiplayer aspect of it, by giving you the frameshift drive, works very, very well, I think. It's definitely a pretty game. It looks good. It's fun to play. The ship models are absolutely brilliant. Marvellous, attractive, gorgeous piece of kit. Space is pretty, very pretty. And they've retained a lot of the features that we liked, like your scanner, obviously. The basic classes of ship. They've made them, for the most case, very faithful recreations of the originals. Although there are some of them where I keep thinking to myself, yeah, it looks bugger all like the Adder. My famous opinion on the Adder, which is that the Adder is not the Adder, similar to the way the Imperial Courier is not the Imperial Courier. But they're gonna have to expand it. It's gonna have to be there for different genres and different age groups and different demographics and different people like different things. Because if you don't, you're limiting your marketplace. And as I said, that's where I got to, is the fact of saying that you're limiting. They've limited it already by saying you can't buy ships with real actual money, like you can in Star Citizen. So what can they do to make it more appealing to other generations or to other types of gamer? People who want that quick fix console style game, or see, I'm not sure if the definition of this right, but Twitch gamers, which I am envisioned as being people who want to get in there, have a quick, action-packed, busy experience for a few minutes at a time, or a set time of being able to play something. It's fair enough, and that's where the CQC concept seems to fit in my head. I'm not entirely sure if that's an accurate representation of that, because I've not really read up on it. I'm not really aware of what it's all actually about, because, as I say, I'm not really that involved in all aspects of the community. I like my Twitch streamers because they keep me up to date with what's going on. I do try and keep up with their radio, although I'm failing miserably at that for the last few weeks. Oh, rocks! Go away! It's all the same bloody rocks. There we go. Console generation can bring a load of more revenue for Frontier, and that's a good thing. The other guys and other computing areas can do it. The Mac guys, the Linux guys. And then of course there's different game styles. You've got your action game, your exploration game, your trading game, your financial game, your political game, piracy, plunder, exploration, planets, photographs, military. So many different things that they can do. In my head, SC and ED is kind of merging where they finished where it lined up. You think? I've not really played much of Star Citizen. I have got it because, as I've said before on these streams, when I bought the computer I got a voucher for 2 free games because of the graphics card that was in the machine I've got. And one of the games that I decided I was going to get for free was Star Citizen, which gives you the special AMD class ship. 2 projects, this is SC with FPS, first person shooter would lose that. ED with spaceflight. I've not really seen the FPS aspects of Star Citizen. I've seen the hangar and what comes from the hangar, like the very early access kind of stuff that just gives you a ship and dumps you into an asteroid belt to play around, which I must admit just smacked so much of ED's initial launch, and all the even all the Kickstarter media for ED, which all hovered around this asteroid belt full of people having a fight and David Braben racing around and running into asteroids. I don't think they'll merge completely. I think they'll be significantly different in the way that they're implemented. Obviously, like you say, I think Star Citizen, from what you've said and what I've seen of the media for it, is very much, I suppose, roleplay based, because it seems to be more of a role-playing thing along the lines of Wing Commander, where you've got a story and you're a character, and it has that sort of built into it. But I don't know how accessible it is and how far it will go as far as planetary landings or interacting with other people on planets is concerned, or whether you're limited to spaceships and all that sort of stuff again. Spaceships even. Strange child. So it is quite a different beast to what Elite Dangerous is, which is very much based on finding your own path through the galaxy. And I think that's where the two of them are going to be disparate. Now I see as Arena Commander. I thought Arena Commander was quite an early thing with it. Maybe you want to implement first person aspects. Yeah, but they always wanted to though. See, this is the thing, it's difficult to tell, because Frontier Developments have always said they want to do the first person aspect to Frontier, to Elite Dangerous, sorry. But it's difficult to try and get the balance right and make sure it's done properly. And as a player, I want that. I want that first person aspect to it. I think, even if Star Citizen and the ED have a very similar features list, first person mode, arena combat mode, space travel mode, space flight mode, all that sort of stuff, I think it will be a very, very different feel to each game. The same way that EVE Online is a space based game with no people in it, and so is ED, but both games are very, very, very different. People that enjoy Elite Dangerous don't seem to enjoy EVE Online, and people that like EVE Online seem to be slagging off Elite Dangerous quite a lot. So I don't understand. It's very, to me, in my head, it's very similar to all the stuff we used to get with Star Wars and Star Trek before George Takei united us all against Twilight. It's about your flavour of stuff that you want to play. If you want to play it, play it. You could have a situation, even if you did have a situation where ED and SC, Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous, are very, very similar games, there will be the people out there who will say one's better than the other, even if they're identical, because they will have different aspects to them. They will have different things like different ships, different ship handling, different combat model, different way of handling everything, different ways of doing your energy boosts and your all that sort of stuff. So I'm not that fussed really. Star Citizen I don't like. I just don't like the way it feels. ED flies very smoothly. I feel that it works quite well as a game and as a simulation and as just something to look at for prettiness. And I love the fact that I can actually look around the cockpit within. That's really the guys at ED Tracker that I've got to thank about that, eh? Not necessarily Elite, not necessarily the Frontier people. But what does the future hold for Elite Dangerous in specific? I think there's a lot. I mean, I've said it before that I think there's a lot that is still going to come in this game, and I'm going to just fall in love with it even more. 1 second. Daddy! Sorry to bother you, would you mind getting me a drink?
Oh.
Cider, please. Just a can, don't put it in a glass or anything.
Okay.
Thank you. My throat's starting to dry up. Ta. Where was I? Totally lost my thread now. I think, I think the framework's there, as I said last week. What do I want to see? I want to see exploration expanded. I've said that before, I'll say it again. I want to see the possibilities that are there for doing real proper studies of planets and moons and asteroid belts. So rather than just skimming across them, you can get right up close and personal. I downloaded Flight Sim X, Flight Sim 10 from Steam, on its special offer. £3, £3.99 for FSX on Steam. That's pretty cool, especially given the fact that I looked for it in the shops for retail only a few weeks ago. Taru, thank you, appreciate it. And it was £50. Still £50 for what's now, is it coming up for an 8-year-old, 9-year-old game now? Still £50 to buy the full pack, and you can get it for £3 on Steam. Okay, you're tied to Steam, and fair enough, Steam does have its issues and so on, but you know, that's pretty good. Oh, that's better. But the thing I'm trying to say is, I downloaded an update pack, which includes the SR-71 Blackbird, and amongst that update pack were the controls and settings to do it as a recon mission. So you could use basically a fudge of the screenshot technology in that game, so you could take a screenshot as if you were doing it from a camera, and that's pretty cool. Gotta say, that's pretty cool. So yeah, things like that you could do in here. You know, just say you've got a camera bolted to the bottom of your ship, and what you're doing with your scanner is just taking photos of the surface. So you could even actually map an entire planet from orbit using a high-res camera, which ain't that far away from what we can do now, to be honest with you. Rocks. Ain't that pretty much how Google Maps works? I wonder though, and if and when Thargoids are implemented, would explorers need to pack guns and shields on their ships in case they run into Thargoids middle of nowhere? Yeah, they would. That's it. I think, although I'm not keen on that, because I like the fact that I can kit out ships for specific types of missions. Like, I have an explorer ship that has no weapons. I do have shields, because I know that I could get in trouble getting too near stars by mistake. But yeah, I think that would show you the ever-shifting nature of the galaxy, and that's the reason why in Original Elite, again, my imagination against what is actually canon in the Elite universe, because I'm not sure what is at this point in time. The Original Elite, you were always decked out with shields and weapons, because there was always the threat of the Thargoids out there at all times, and that was what the culture, in inverted commas, was like at that point. As the Thargoids disappeared into the background, you got into the place where you were in the Frontier universe, where it was essentially piracy you were worried about. But you could go to corporate state systems or friendly systems and not have to worry about all that kind of stuff. And the Thargoids have been gone now in this game for almost 100 years. They popped back in 3250 as a slightly friendlier race who tried to get on with us for a bit. Oh God almighty, rocks, rocks, rocks. 159,000. Okay. This one's going to be a while, dudes. Yeah, got to that point to we've got now, where the only interaction with the Thargoids was about 50 years in the past. They were kind of friendly, a bit standoffish, and a bit mysterious, but overall not hostile. So now we've got to a universe. We've got the Elite universe that's fairly innocuous. You know, not a lot's going on. If you want to rack out your ship with nothing but cargo bays and then just run, you've got technology to do that. There's no one more advanced out there who could be a threat if you've got a fast enough ship with a good hyperdrive that can get you out of a scrape. And then the ship might hit the fan when either another faction of humans gets involved or the Thargoids come back and then start kicking the shit out of you in the far reaches of space. and that's when we get a kick in the complacency. And that's kind of what I hope the storyline's going to go for. It's going to go for that, gradually taking you back into an actual fighting war with the Thargoids again. So you've got something out there that you've got to be careful of, and it's not human, and it's not politics. So it's not because you've said, I support this person, that some other defence ship from the space station you're trying to dock with and trade with decides he's going to have a pot shot at you because you're not allied with his friends. Because I think that concept sucks. And I've said it before, I'm not going to go down the power play slagging off route again. But I think having that true, actual, visceral reason to have to be careful for a non-political reason is just what I'm looking forward to. And if the Thargoids and the Eresrians are all different as well, and all that sort of comes through, if it's fair enough, that'd be awesome in my mind. Sounds like business. I can't leave my exploring super cruise AFK anymore. No, yes, well, it's probably not a great idea through that anyway, but whatever. That's why I'm getting to Elite Explorer first. Well, that's why I'm doing this kind of mission. I want to try and get my exploration rank up a little bit, because it's pitiful at the moment. Actually, it's not bad. I mean, I've got my wings now, at least. It's not just a nubbin. Little teeny tiny vestigial wings on it. I've actually got full-size wings on my exploration rank, so that's not too bad. But still, yeah, I'm hoping this little mission's going to get me some ranking. Get me up the ranks a little bit. But yeah, it's probably wise to get it done before the Thargoids pop back. But no, the thing is, I don't mean people out there exploring. I mean, Frontier say there's something out there, and everyone's been talking about that this last week or so, that there is something out there. All you've got to do is find it. And I'm just wondering if Frontier have possibly made that a little bit too obscure, because they've said themselves that in the galaxy the size that this is, it would take the current player base, including everyone who's on different platforms and so on, something like 700,000 years to explore every star. And the thing is, you've got such a wide range, even in the core system, you've got such a wide range of planets and systems and so on that are there, that the odds are against someone finding it by accident. They've said that the analysis of the sound from the alien artifacts that have been picked up by people in space can be used to find out what's going on and where things are. But really? And they say that we're overthinking it now, apparently. So everyone's thinking, well, it must be a really simple thing to do then. What do they do? What have they made this sound from? So they're trying to break down the sound and analyse it and speed it up and slow it down and analyse the dots and the dashes. Is it Morse code? Is it this or is it that? Don't know. I don't know. I don't have a clue, because ultimately we're not the ones that invented the game. So what may be obvious for the guys that are inventing the game may not be all that obvious for those of us who didn't invent the game. One thing I'm missing: an explorer voucher to indicate how much I've scanned for. Yeah, I think that's the thing about the status thing here, is that when you've explored something, you don't get anything until you get back, and I think that kind of slows things down for you a bit. But we'll see. Just a matter of guesswork, innit? But I'm just going to get to my destination, explore as much as I can on the way there. So I'm going to use the fastest route to get to the nebula, and then I'll use the economical route to navigate, or I'll just navigate around the nebula. I actually think, good people, that I'm going to have to draw it to a close shortly, because that's what, coming up for 22:11 now. Going for 1 hour 40 minutes, as well as 15 minutes worth of Elite Encounters update. So time to draw it to a close shortly. Plus, which I'm really need to go and do a toilet break. I need to get back to a station to sell the data, much like the combat vouchers. Yeah, That's the thing. You don't know how well you've done until you go back and sell what you've sold. I've been quite surprised lately. I mean, I'm talking about what I'm talking about as far as what I get from this game, and I've plagiarised a little bit of stuff from Mad Dog's stream, because obviously Mad Dog is the person I listen to most often, to be honest with you. Fiery Toad's a close second, because I can't always listen to Fiery Toad when I'm at work. But Mad Dog I can usually listen to at night. So most of the sorts of things that I know that are going on are generally from either one of those streams. Karash I watch occasionally, Kate I watch some of most nights, and various other people's, like I know Riga's on at the moment, but I watch him occasionally as well. So so most of this information that I get about what's going on and how people are feeling about stuff is generally from being involved with those streams, and obviously playing the game myself and how I feel about it, and obviously you guys who comment on my stream and stick in the chat and have a bit of a chat with me. It's good stuff. But that's where I think my opinions tonight on where Elite's going, where it can go, what power play has meant over the last few weeks and how it's been received. Most of the information I've had from that has been from those other streams, so I apologise for nicking people's content, but I'm trying to bring my spin on it and how I feel about it, and if that interests any of you, then fine. If not, then if you want me to discuss something, because obviously at the minute I'm doing exploration, so the visuals aren't going to be all that great. There's not going to be any pew pew combat and exciting hat in your mouth stuff or anything like that. It's just me scanning planets and flying between them. So if there's anything you want me to talk about or anything you want me to bring up, then by all means stick a comment in there when you're on the chat, and I'll quite happily chew the fat with you about it. But I was interested to hear Drew talking about his feelings on power play and how it's been accepted and so on, and how he feels about it. And I was interested to hear him saying something quite negative about it, because he's always been very, very in favour of Elite Dangerous and the Frontier Development's way of thinking on it, and he's been always very supportive on what they've done and how they've done it. And his blog post a couple of weeks ago was really the most negative I've really seen him be as regards to the game and its content. And that, to me, good friend well, hopefully I would classify myself as a good friend of Drew's, because we've been friends / acquaintances, I would like to say friends, for about 8 years now, since, if not more, since the Elite days, which are still with us. I'm not saying they're over by any way, shape or form. And it's interesting. One thing is that Drew was always very good at, when I was doing my Kickstarter and when I was doing my updates and so on, his blog posts quite often actually stepped right on the toes of mine. He quite often managed to say exactly what I was thinking about talking about in one of his posts, which was a couple of days before my own one, which was frustrating at times. But it proves to me that Drew and I have a very similar take on Elite, and we have very similar mindsets as far as our memories of Elite and what Elite did for us, i.e. made us into creative people. So when I hear what he's saying, it's interesting when it does actually, again, echoes how I feel about it, in the fact that he calls it risk in space, which again is something I do fully agree with. It's like it doesn't add anything elite to the mix of the actual game content itself. It's primarily a political game that people want to play, and doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that we all want to play. And it's something that Drew isn't that keen on, even though his book was actually very political, which is interesting. It's just not what Elite is. It's not what Elite's ever been. Frontier and Frontier First Encounters do have a fair amount of politics in there, but this was meant to be a remake of Elite, or a sequel to Elite, more than Frontier and First Encounters. It's taken elements from it, but it's gone back to the roots of Elite and what made Elite a playable game. and it expanded on that aspect of it as well. So to take it into a direction where politics are the prime mover, it's, to be honest, I actually wonder how much that will appeal to the majority of the new generation of gamers. The younger generation, for example, I mean, my son's quite politically oriented. He would talk about politics till you're blue in the face, to be honest with you. But he's not the average kind of person of that age that I know, or that even I knew. The majority of them want to play games where they can shoot and kill and Call of Duty style things, and primarily advance themselves in rank through a system like that, not work their way through a political system or try and vie one political party against the other. Or I mean, obviously the mission side of it, you've got the ones who are going to play like that are going to play the militaristic missions. So I suppose it's got that thing in there somewhere. But does it bring a new generation of, especially now the console games are coming out, does it bring a new generation of console gamers in to want to play the political aspects of this universe? Don't know. It might not. For me, there are things coming. I know there are things coming. Like I say, they have this 10-year plan. They've put something in it, as was said in Mad Dog Stream. They've put stuff in it now to cater to one side of the gaming community. They've put enough stuff in for the elite veterans, as you would call us, over the last couple of years to keep us happy. So now it's time they started catering for the other parts of the demographic, the new demographics, the new people they want to bring in. So I think for the next few months we're going to find quite a lot of content on there that is going to expand various areas of the game that aren't possibly not going to be right up the streets of the older generation of us. Again, it'll be things that you don't have to get involved with if you don't want to. So where's the harm? I don't see the problem. Something will come along that I'll like, something will come along that Drew or Mad Dog or Kate will like, some stuff will come along that other gamers will like, and if it does, it does. It's great, it's awesome. It's expanding the game and keeping it going. It keeps it fresh. Keeps it fresh is what it does. And it keeps it out there for us, and it gives us a new bit to get our teeth into at some point if we want to expand what we're doing. But it was commented at one point that the galaxy's bland, and I agree with that to an extent. You know, this is exploration, right? Look at me now. I'm sitting. I have just finished scanning a planet, and I can't even see it. It's hidden behind the blob of my head-up display. That's not exploration. That's scanning something. That's not fun. It's easy. Yeah, it's easy, and it's going to get me lots of money quickly. But it's not. It misses something. Mining got some love in the last update, where you had things, you could fire your laser at a thing and send drones out to collect them. Fair enough. That's fine. But I really hope they do something with exploration in the next update, because I think it needs it. I really do think it needs it. One thing that I did, that thing about Thargoids that you were talking about, Edwin, earlier on, with the fact that you'd have to then make sure that your ship's tooled up and that you're not away from keyboard when you're in the middle of deep space or something like that. That's one aspect of the game that I do think could be worked on. It needs to be carefully balanced though, because I think there's going to be two sides to it. There's people who want to play a certain style of game, who want to play the trade game or want to play the exploration game, but don't want to play the combat side of the game. And if you make one addition to the game compromise another part of the game, the way that Power Play to an extent has compromised those who just want to trade around the core systems, then you have to be careful, because it's going to be detrimental to the game's popularity if you nerf one particular area of the game. When I was doing the beta and I lined up with whoever it was that I lined up with, it wasn't the person that controlled the Shinra Desra system, or that was trying to control the Shinra Desra system, which meant that any time I warped into Shinra Desra, whether it be to want to change my ship or trade or whatever it was, it meant that I was going to get attacked, and it meant I was going to get attacked by system defence vessels that are clean. So if I try and defend myself against a system defence vessel, then I then become a fugitive at my own system. Not good. I feel that is kind of nerfing to those who just want to trade in their core systems and stay there. Obviously you have the option not to get involved, but if you want to get involved with something like that, but you don't necessarily want to get involved with the faction that currently controls your system, then what are you going to do? You can't play the exploration game, because every time you try and come back and trade your stuff back, you could get attacked. You also can't do the trade thing, because if you try and trade and you've got a hold full of crap you want to sell off at Shinra and Desra, and then you get attacked by a system defence vessel, that's bad. So, I don't know. It seems a risky thing to do, to try and bring something into it and then break a particular mechanic of the core game. Risky business. So I'm hoping that's something they'll address in future. They'll maybe look at the way that Power Play has done that and hopefully say, okay, maybe we should have got that, we should have thought that through a bit more, and maybe they'll tone that down again in future. Maybe they already have. As I say, I'm not overly au fait with what actually happens and then the itty bitty details of the whole system. But I just hope it's something they either have fixed or will fix in the future. It's not exploration, just in the sense that you explore something. It says dot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've seen dots. Look, there's dots everywhere on this screen. Look, all around me, even to the side. Got all them dots. They've all gone brown. Yeah, but I'm not exploring them. I'm exploring this blob in front of me, which isn't a planet, not yet. I'll never see the planet. That's why I haven't sided with anyone. That's why I'm not gonna side with anyone in Power Play. Not until, if ever, not until there's at least something significant I can do. Plus which I think that from watching other people playing it and listening to other people talk about it, it's not a coherent thing. And the way that Drew said it again was right. It's the fact that these people are just faces. There's nothing behind them that gives them any substance. Petraeus and a couple of other people were mentioned in the Galnet stuff occasionally, but even then there was never all that much. Just how they want to affect a particular system or how they want to approach a particular problem, but there's nothing about where these guys came from or how they got to the positions they're in at the moment and all that. There's no official fiction behind what they've done, and to be honest, that is missing a huge opportunity, because you think about it, there's at least four fully published novelists sitting around the forums and around the gaming community doing bugger all. Why not get them to get their heads together, or even separately sit down and write some of the backstories for these characters? You know, it's no work to Frontier, and I am absolutely positive that at least one, I mean I can guarantee one, would sit there and do it quite happily off his own back. And I'm fairly positive one of the other ones would as well. For me, you know, me and Alan Stroud and a couple of other guys, TJ and all that, were involved in doing some of the background stuff, and that was some of the most interesting stuff I've been involved with. And a lot of that stuff, obviously I can't say a lot of that stuff because it's all sort of locked away in secrecy things, and I've got black car sitting outside watching the house in case I say something wrong on these streams. But putting all that stuff together was a proof that we can work together as a team, and that we're all quite happy to do it, unpaid, mind, to sit and expand this universe as much as we can, because we want this universe to be immersive, we want this universe to be expansive, and we'd love to be sitting in part of that. And when I get this RPG finished, I'm actually going to sit and say, you know, if you want me to do anything for you, you want me to do any more characterizations or anything like that for you, then by all means drop me an email or let me know or whatever, and I'll jump at the chance to put anything input wise into the lore of this game. I mean, there's no accident I keep calling myself the Teenage the Historical Society, because I love writing backstories for shit like this, and I could do that till I was blue in the face. But yeah, so it is. At the moment, it seems like a wasted opportunity. It could have been so much better, and I think there were decisions made as far as the power play stuff was concerned that maybe should have been slowed down a little bit to say, okay, wait enough, let's expand this a little bit, let's explore the possibilities of this a little bit, because what they've got with the power play thing is a very superficial way of doing this kind of thing. Everyone has a face, very prettily drawn and very wonderfully artistic face, but just a face nonetheless. It's an empty shell. There's so much space inside that shell that can be filled up with interesting and useful information, and having these people given some depth, and how did they get to where they go, how corrupt could they be, what rumours are there around these people and how they got to power, how many other people in the background have actually said to other parties in Galnet, oh, by the way, I knew that Denton Trace when he was growing up and he was a right little bastard, and all that kind of stuff. Not enough of that stuff has been put around it, and again, it's not something that Frontier has to do themselves. It's something that the freelancers out there can just get their teeth into, put through, and they've got people there that can maybe go through this stuff. If they want to vet it all, they can vet it all, but how much more work would that be for them than creating it themselves? I don't know. Do they have time to do it? Do they have the inclination to do it? I don't know. Why not? I don't know. Just told you I don't know. Stop asking. But it's something that can be done, and we proved it worked with the background stuff, the writers' bibles and all that sort of stuff. We proved that it worked. And we quite a few of us in the writers' forum on the main Frontier forums, when we were in the first year of our respective projects, were busy saying, look, we can do this stuff, let us give a hand. And we got the answer occasionally of, yeah, well, we'll think about it, we'll let you know. And I just hope that at some point it's going to come. And I've noticed that there's been things about Drew's main character in his book, Kahina, Senator Kahina Loren, or whatever her name is, in some of the Galnet updates, and I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, that Drew has actually written those himself, and they've been selected by Frontier to go on the Galnet thing. And we need more of that stuff. We need more people to engage with that kind of stuff and get in there and actually hope that Frontier can take some of these hooks. Because one of the big things that, as an RPG writer, one of the big things that we look for is something to put into a book or put into a scenario where you've got a plot hook there that somebody could grab hold of and say, I can make a story out of that. And having all these writers out here sitting writing all these little things, and in their head they're physically saying, this is a hook, grab hold of that and write a story about it, or pull it out to make a story with it. And that's where the immersiveness of this universe comes in. That's where your role playing comes in. That's where your first person perspective comes in. Not necessarily from being out of your ship and playing, or being out of your ship and walking about, but having characters who are mentioned and are talked about and are expanded and are blown up all out of proportion to become larger than life, and actually come at your screen at you and say, I'm here, I need this attention, and you can help me do that. That's what you need. You can do that narratively, you can do that through first person interaction, or you can do it just through text on a screen. It will still work. And just to say that one person has had that person come along, you've got such a big database of NPC names out there, you can have the same thing happen to the same people, but with different names and in different places. So, yeah. It's not hard to do. It's like the single player games always had these little missions in there where somebody says, the Imperial Majesty Navy wants you to go and do this sort of thing. And a single player thing, it's okay to have the same names, but you've got a multiplayer online game here. You have the framework to do that. You have the ability to do slight changes to it or slight differences to it. But the important thing is, and I think Mad Dog said this at one point as well about the assassination missions that he was doing today, are all kind of linked to the same goals for this power, but they're all individual missions that aren't linked together in any way. Why not have, for example, generation of a single assassination mission